So, let's talk about Kenobi, shall we? Now, this is just sort of an in-between video. I wasn't planning on making it. I certainly wasn't planning on scripting it out, but some recent news has hit the internet about Kenobi possibly being cancelled from Disney Plus. It was announced, I think it was late last year, or maybe mid last year, during, I think it was Star Wars Celebration, where Ewan McGregor was brought on stage and Kathleen Kennedy gave him the mic and said, "Are you going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again?" And then Ewan McGregor, with a smile on his face, said, yes, I am. I am going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi. He looked ecstatic. He always loved playing the role. And he, as we all know, or we should all know, he did a fantastic job playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was extremely likable, very charismatic, and brought a lot of much-needed comedy and charisma to the prequels, in addition to all the other great qualities of the prequels. Now, the thumbnail I put up is how I feel about the current situation regarding Kenobi, but probably not in the way you think. My fear for Kenobi isn't that it's going to be cancelled. My fear for Kenobi is that it's actually going to go ahead. Now, bear with me on this one. I know a lot of people are excited for Kenobi, and in all honesty, it's the one thing. I mean, The Mandalorian, with its ups and downs, mind you, I was skeptical, then I was on board, and then my enthusiasm slowly waned as the series kind of got worse, and then it kind of bumped back up during the finale. The finale got me reinvested in The Mandalorian. Now, I'm semi-excited for Season 2 of The Mandalorian, but the one thing that was like, that I'd absolutely just have to watch, for better or worse, is Kenobi. Because I adore Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I adore the prequels. Anyone who follows my channel knows that. Check out my series, Revenge of the Prequels, if you haven't already. I just uploaded the latest video regarding Cosmonaut, and his shitty take on the prequels, the very clear agenda in that video. And there will be more videos on Cosmonaut soon, but I just wanted to talk about Kenobi here because that's a character. Let me put it this way. I didn't grow up... I watched the original trilogy when I was younger, alright? Phantom Menace was the first Star Wars movie I watched, and I watched A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then Attack of the Clones came out, then Revenge of the Sith, and then done. But, I have to say, for many of you listening to this video, Luke Skywalker was your, the character that kind of made your childhood, the character that was that was very special to you in that sort of sense. Now, I'm not saying Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite character by any means, but as far as Star Wars goes, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, they left a very special impression on me as a child and into adulthood. And they were their characterization, how they performed on screen, which way they did, how they were characterized, it was all done from George Lucas. It's George Lucas's vision. He made those characters from the ground up, made their dialogue, made their actions, made their character traits, you name it. And now George Lucas is gone. He has nothing to do with it no longer. The actors remain. All right. Now, my fear, and this should come as no surprise, my fear for Kenobi going forward is, look, the actors that have stayed behind from the original trilogy were Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher. Now, George Lucas's vision, his intellect, and the authenticity of him as a creator is gone. The actors stayed behind. They were taken from one man's vision and put into the hands of corporate that clearly does not understand this IP. Harrison Ford's Han Solo was turned into a deadbeat dad that abandoned his family. Leia she wasn't exactly ruined per se. She was just a mess, and she certainly wasn't handled properly after the tragic passing of Carrie Fisher, rest in peace. And above all else, the absolute character assassination of Luke Skywalker is what broke the internet back in late 2017. Disney does not understand this IP and still doesn't. They have talented people on crew that want to do a good job. I saw really excellent traits to the Mandalorian, by people who had passion for Star Wars. All right, it's clear they got some people on there who want to do the best job possible. One of those people was clearly Deborah Chow, or Deborah Chow. I apologize if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. She directed some of the best episodes, if not the best episodes, of The Mandalorian. She did a phenomenal job. And now she's going to be the one helming the Kenobi series in a director's capacity. I'm not quite sure who's... Maybe she's writing it? I don't know. But who's writing it doesn't really matter. I'm happy she's directing it at the very least. She's going to throw something together. But my concern is who's writing it. And who's writing it doesn't really matter because it's in the hands of corporate. And she can... Ewan McGregor can play the part and Deborah Chow can direct the action sequences and whatnot. But they're missing the person who truly understands his character. And I'm worried that they're going to turn Obi-Wan Kenobi into something he's not. They have a limited window to work with. He is on Tatooine at the end of Revenge of the Sith. He is still on Tatooine at the start of A New Hope. In that window, they got to fit in a series surrounding this character who George Lucas left on that planet and left him watching over Luke Skywalker for the entire 19 years as we currently know it. Then again, George Lucas left a lot of things in place prior to his relinquishing of the franchise to Disney. He left a lot of pieces in place that Disney retconned to make other events happen in their own canon. And now they're picking and choosing bits from the expanded universe to incorporate and to not incorporate, despite them decanonizing the original EU. A very scummy thing to do. They wanted to try and helm it all on their own. When they had no ideas or when they fucked it up, they pick and choose all the good, creative, excellent ideas, the best of the EU, and then they bastardized it basically. They brought it into their own canon and they turned it into a cesspool of just mixed ideas that don't make no sense and that don't link up timeline-wise and now we got Force Heal. Force Heal is a thing in Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. So, am I concerned that Kenobi is going to be cancelled? No. I mean, we know now it's not going to be cancelled. I heard from another source, I think it was Grace Randolph, that the show is still very much going ahead, but Ewan McGregor is butting heads with Disney, and this is already not a very good sign at all. Mark Hamill butted heads with Disney. By all accounts, J.J. Abrams butted heads with Disney regarding The Rise of Skywalker and The Force Awakens. I'm already writing Obi-Wan's obituary, man. Like, we should be on DEFCON 1. All right, this is all the signs we got for The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, and The Rise of Skywalker. If Disney is getting involved, Disney doesn't understand this character, and Ewan McGregor's freaking out, and Deborah Chow's trying to helm it competently, but she's getting interference from Kennedy, he's getting mouthed over by Bob Iger, and it's just, this is what happens when you take an organic vision and an IP like Star Wars and you put it into the hands of a corporate entity that doesn't give a fuck, that is run by a range of different people with different agendas instead of helmed by one person with a singular vision. It's just a clusterfuck, and it's going to be a clusterfuck every time. They might make the occasional good piece of property or a good movie, but it's going to be a mess. You're going to walk in and you're going to say, okay, like, I liked parts of it, but this whole story looks like it was helmed by 6 people who wanted something different. Now, is it possible for Disney to make a good Kenobi series? Absolutely. Do I think they will? Fuck no. I honestly don't have a shred of hope for Kenobi, and I hope I'm wrong, because this series is very much going ahead whether I like it or not. I'm not afraid that it's going to be cancelled. I'm not scared that it's going to be cancelled. I know it's not going to be cancelled. If Kenobi was cancelled and just left there, I would be very much relieved. I would be happy that they weren't going ahead with Kenobi, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi, is a very special character to me. His part in the Star Wars story was very spelt out. It had a beginning, middle, and end, and we left it, and it was satisfactory. Plus you got all the Clone Wars and Rebel series and the I guess you call it the canon EU, whatever the fuck that is now. Which, by the way, I have not read, nor have I seen the Clone Wars or the Star Wars Rebels, and I cannot watch those shows, or at least I can't watch the Clone Wars until I finish my Revenge of the Prequel series, which will at the rate it's going will take a number of years. But my point stands. We love this character. He's a very special character to many of us. He's a very special character in movie history, in our filmography timeline of just mankind in general, at least in the Western world. America, Australia, Britain, whoever else loves Star Wars and where Star Wars is well known. I know Russia loves the prequels. That's what I've been hearing a lot of in my comment sections. So I don't want. Point is, the crux of this video is I don't want that character messed with. I don't want that character fucked with. Certainly not by people who want to just milk the character for money. And many of us have said that one of our favorite parts of the prequels was Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. What does Disney say? Cool, bring him in here, make him an offer, let's make some money. That's their attitude. George Lucas's attitude was, hey, I want to take this character and I want to see what I can do with him and see if I can create a story and a dynamic between him and Anakin, Padme, the Jedi Council, the clone troopers. And let's see how I can make this character, interweave this character into making everything work, give him a good plot, give him personality, charisma, all that jazz, which, again, a large part of that rests on the actor's shoulders, excuse me. But George Lucas had a clear vision for Obi-Wan, and now Obi-Wan is in the hands of Disney. Disney does not know Obi-Wan Kenobi like George Lucas. They never will. They'll never know Star Wars like George Lucas. And I am terrified for the character that I love. Ewan McGregor, if you're listening to this, I love you. I know you're going to do your best. And fingers crossed, Deborah Cho, you give it your best as well. But Disney, please, you've ruined enough. You don't need to ruin Obi-Wan too. And if you fuck up Obi-Wan, if you fuck up another precious part of Star Wars lore and history that I'd say is universally beloved by the fans, it's very rare you get universally loved parts of Star Wars. If you fuck this up, you ruin another precious character to film history and to Star Wars history. You're just going to dig yourselves a deeper grave. And divine intervention, I really honestly hope that something puts a stop to Kenobi being made. But if it gets made, well, God help us all. Anyway, thanks guys. I just wanted to make a quick video about Kenobi. I wanted to offer my thoughts. My videos are usually scripted and usually are of higher editing quality. Hope you check out my Revenge of the Prequel series. I got an ongoing series deconstructing The Rise of Skywalker. Both of them are scripted series. Both of them are edited series. Check them out at your leisure. Thank you to all my patrons. You guys are phenomenal. I appreciate you. Thank you for all your donations and your support. Thank you to my YouTube members as well for your donations. I appreciate all of you, and you guys help me keep doing this. Thank you. And I hope to see you guys on Twitter and on Discord. The links for everything I just mentioned are below. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.